Over the years, our family's had its share of health problems.
So prescriptions are a part of our life.
Before we went to the big box store.
We both thought it would help us save. But with the long lines and impersonal service, filling prescriptions became a chore. That's when a friend recommended D&H.
Now Tristan knows our prescriptions. Brenda always helps us find the right vitamins. And after Dad's fall, Monica's been a real expert with all our home medical needs. All without the lines.
Trust and service.
That's our D&H.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Thursday, January the 7th, 2016. I'm practicing saying the new year.
It is the new year.
Yeah, it is. I've got two of my really good friends, KIT and CATHY Salter.
Hello,
Pleasure
Paul.
to have
Always
you
fun
here.
to be
Paul.
back.
Happy New Year, KIT.
To you as well.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Today we're going to talk about the life of a writer, and the writer is sitting just to my left, CATHY Salter.
A right-handed writer.
Right here. You've been writing books, and you've been running columns and books for 23 years now. How did you get started? Why did you get started?
I got started after the flood of '93 when I felt like I needed a way to express what was going on. I mean, this huge flood that had come into town in Hartsburg. And after all after it was over, that Thanksgiving in 1993, I went home and I just had this desire to start writing, to not photography, not drawing, not anything else, but just to describe what I'd been witnessing for months. And so I started with a few pieces that were about Hartsburg bottoms and what they'd been through during the flood. And then I thought, I wonder if I could turn this into a column. And the Boone County Journal picked it up, gave me the opportunity to write a column that I called Notes from Breakfast Creek. And that was a weekly column, came out in the Boone County Journal, which is a weekly newspaper, for 4 years. And then the Columbia Tribune invited me to have the column in the Columbia Tribune as well. Same column, every Monday. It comes out on Mondays.
Yeah.
And it
It's
remained...
awkward because Hank says not many papers from a 1 week has syndicated up to a daily. So we're very proud of the fact that we've broken the pattern a little bit.
Right.
So
But,
my editor at the paper is Jim Robertson. So Jim Robertson literally has read every single column I've written since September of 1997. So he knows my work. And the paper has gotten smaller physically, and the columns have gotten shorter. Columns are now about 600 words, whereas when I first started, they were 1,200 words.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, Ken and I realized I had hundreds of columns.
So you said, why not put them
Hundreds
in a
of
book?
columns, and we looked back over the period of time we'd been at Breakfast Creek, and in 2008, we published this first book called Notes from Breakfast Creek.
And it still is available, right?
It is still available.
Right, okay.
It is still online at Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com for the original price.
Okay.
It has not gone down in price.
Now,
Then,
you came out with a new book last year called Notes from
Actually, this year.
Boomerang Creek.
October, our birth year.
Right. No, that was last year.
Birthday
That
month.
was last year.
You're
This
right.
is 2016.
That's right. 2015. So what happened is we left Breakfast Creek. We packed it all in. We went on a grand adventure to Albuquerque, and 7 months later we realized, big mistake, the writing wasn't happening, the transition wasn't happening. I'd planted 25 fruit trees and I still didn't feel like I'd put down roots. So we came back. And the second book, which came out just after we had our birthdays last year, this was part of my birthday present to you, was a book that represented 10 years, because we've been back 10 years now, 10 years of additional writing. And it is called Notes from Boomerang Creek, which is our home outside of Ashland in the country.
Now, Kathy, let me ask you this. If somebody listening to us today, if they're thinking about writing a book, it is a complicated procedure, writing a book, getting it published, and selling it.
Well, I had a lot of the words because I've been writing for 23 years.
Right, and you took the columns and put them in a book.
These are essays that, in fact, have been columns, and KIT is my editor, and we sat down and we figured out how to put them together into parts, 3 parts filled with chapters that fit under each of those parts. You know, one about subjects that had to do with writing, another that had to do with the seasons at Boomerang Creek, and then another one that had to do with travel.
The broader view of the world.
The broader view of the world,
Yeah.
to distant places and places around the United States.
And how is this book doing?
And the wonderful thing is that we got together with Yolanda Choli, who's a local, fabulous Yolanda Choli, who's a wonderful publisher at Compass Press, and she's a genius. And this is a handmade book. I mean, we put our heads together. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful inside.
And it's
it has a
beautiful
beautiful
outside, too.
flow.
Beautiful cover.
I love it. And I've had the fun of just creating a website that is www.kathysalter.com. And you can see each of the books. You can see you can read reviews of them. You can read the table of contents. You can read excerpts.
Well, you've got it all together.
Yeah,
You've got
and
nice
it has
graphics
beautiful
in it.
graphics in it.
Yeah.
And then in the last it says contact. If you want to contact me, for example, if you have a book club, there are book clubs all over Columbia.
You'll go and speak to them.
I would be happy to come and speak about writing, about these books, about the Unbound Book Festival that's coming in April this year.
Yeah.
April 23rd, and you can contact me at Boomerang Creek @me.com.
Well, you've got it all together.
And it's at our Barnes & Noble here in the Columbia Mall, hardback
Or
and
Amazon.com.
paperback, or Amazon.com.
KIT, I think this is the quietest I have ever seen you.
You want to feel the vice on my right knee. Man, I can't hardly breathe. You asked about writing. And I want to say we have so many writers around here that we want to also point out there is an Osher Saturday morning book talk series, first Saturday of every month, up at the Hillcrest Center off of Old 63.
Okay.
We've got local authors.
Here, turn it this way.
And
We
the
just
next
went on
one
a time.
is?
We have Stephen Watts coming up on the 6th of February, doing Self-Help Messiah, Dale Carnegie and Success in Modern America.
Okay, that's on the 5th of February. 6th of February.
Saturday.
Okay, all right. Thank you both so much for coming. It's a pleasure having you here.
Saturday the 6th of February.
Okay, got it. Got it. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, KIT. I can't believe
Paul.
it, KIT. You sat there and you didn't talk very much at all today.
I've got a segment coming up, I think.
All right, we're out of time for today. We'll
There's
see you
lots
tomorrow.
about him in this book.
Okay, notes from